Imagine a piece of dense rye bread, slathered with creamy butter, piled high with herring, roast beef, or shrimp, and that's not just lunch, that's Denmark on a plate. Curious why Danes love these so much? Stick with me. By the end you'll be craving one, and understanding exactly why. From Viking-era staples to Michelin-level artistry, open-faced sandwiches might look simple, but behind every bite is history, craftsmanship, and national pride. Sustainability and green energy. Viking heritage. Welfare system. New Nordic food. Welcome to Denmark Explained, your front row seat to the hidden gems, quirky traditions, and powerful stories that make Danish culture truly unforgettable. To understand why these open-faced sandwiches are so important in Denmark today, we need to step back in time, more than 1,000 years. Archaeologists have found evidence that people in this region were baking dense rye bread as far back as the Viking era. This bread was hearty, lasted for days without going stale, and provided the energy people needed for hard physical work in a cold climate. By the Middle Ages, the concept of placing food on top of bread was common. Bread slices often acted like an edible plate, holding preserved fish, smoked meats, or pickled vegetables. It was practical, no plates to wash, and the bread soaked up the flavors of the toppings. In the 19th century, Denmark experienced rapid industrial growth. Farmers and factory workers needed quick, filling lunches they could carry with them. Rye bread topped with butter and a few slices of meat or fish became the perfect solution. It was inexpensive, nutritious, and easy to transport. Over time, these simple lunches started appearing in cafes, where they became more decorative and creative. One turning point came in the late 1800s, when cafes began offering long menus of different varieties, each carefully layered and arranged. This is when the open-faced sandwich began to shift from basic fuel to something you could order in a restaurant and enjoy socially. By the early 20th century, the dish had become a proud part of Danish daily life. Families passed down their favorite combinations, and lunchtime at home or in cafes became an opportunity to be creative with colors, flavors, and presentation. During harder times, like the post-war years, these sandwiches were made with simpler ingredients, often leftovers from the previous night's dinner, but the tradition continued. In the early 2000s, chefs in Denmark began a new food movement focused on local, seasonal ingredients and respect for traditional dishes. This sparked a revival of the open-faced sandwich, with restaurants creating modern versions that are as beautiful as they are delicious. Today, it is possible to find them in humble lunchboxes as well as in high-end restaurants, where they are plated like works of art. What's fascinating is how a dish that started as a practical way to use bread and preserve food has evolved into both an everyday meal and a symbol of national identity. Its history tells the story of Denmark itself, resourceful, creative, and proud of its traditions. And later in this video, we'll see how these sandwiches have taken on a role far beyond lunch. They've become part of the country's celebrations, culture, and even fine dining. You're now hooked on the history. Let's explore why open-faced sandwiches endured and evolved. Now that we've explored the history, let's look at why these open-faced sandwiches are still such a big part of life in Denmark today. The answer comes down to three main factors: practicality, nutrition, and national identity. First, there's the practicality. Life in Denmark has always valued efficiency and resourcefulness, and this is reflected in the way people prepare and eat their meals. An open-faced sandwich is quick to assemble, easy to carry, and doesn't require special storage if made with the right ingredients. For schoolchildren, office workers, and laborers alike, it's the kind of lunch that fits perfectly into a busy day. You can make several in advance, each with different toppings, and simply stack them in a container to enjoy later. Then there's the nutritional value. The base of this meal, dense rye bread, is not only filling, but also high in fiber and packed with nutrients. Unlike refined white bread, rye bread offers slow-release energy, keeping you full for hours. This makes it ideal for people who need steady energy throughout the day. Add fresh vegetables, lean meats, fish, or eggs, and you have a complete meal that covers protein, healthy fats, and vitamins. It's no wonder that many Danes see it as one of the healthiest lunch options available. But beyond practicality and nutrition, there's something deeper: national identity. For generations, this style of eating has been part of family life, workplace routines, and social gatherings. Children grow up watching their parents carefully prepare open-faced sandwiches, learning which toppings go together and how to arrange them so they're visually appealing. As they grow older, they pass those habits on to their own children. This continuity makes the open-faced sandwich more than just food, it's a cultural ritual. Whether eaten at a kitchen table on a weekday or served on a buffet at a festive gathering, it carries with it a sense of belonging. It connects people to their heritage and to each other. Even in a world filled with fast food and international cuisines, Danes continue to choose this style of meal because it reflects who they are. It's also worth noting that this tradition has adapted well to modern life. People today have access to a wider range of ingredients than ever before, allowing them to create more diverse and colorful combinations. Yet the basic principle remains unchanged. Start with good bread, add quality toppings, and present it with care. Later in this video, we'll explore how these sandwiches move from the everyday lunchbox to the center of special celebrations, and why they remain a star of the table during Denmark's biggest events. Now you've discovered how open-faced sandwiches blends practicality, nutrition, and identity. What resonates more with you about this Danish staple? Option A. Its practicality as a nutritious packed lunch. Option B. Its cultural role as artful national cuisine. Let me know in the comments which one you lean toward. Planning a trip to Denmark? Or maybe you're moving there soon? Don't just Google your way through it. Let DenmarkExplained.com be your shortcut to a smoother, smarter, and way more fun experience. At DenmarkExplained.com/products, you'll find itineraries, ready-made plans that turn confusion into unforgettable days. eBooks, packed with local insights, cultural tips, and everyday know-how. No boring history lessons, just stuff that actually helps. Expat guides, moving to Denmark? Get the info you wish someone told you before you landed. Everything's digital, everything's simple, and everything's designed to make Denmark feel less confusing and way more cozy. So skip the stress and get the guides that explain Denmark clearly, cleverly, and in plain English. Check it out now at DenmarkExplained.com/products. Your trip, our tips. Let's make it amazing. If you're enjoying this journey into Danish culture, hit like, subscribe, and share, and drop a comment below with your answer. Option A or B. Now let's explore open-faced sandwiches' role in celebrations and festivals. When most people think about open-faced sandwiches in Denmark, they imagine a quick, practical lunch. But in reality, these sandwiches take on an entirely different role when it comes to celebrations and special gatherings. They become centerpieces, both visually and culturally, at some of the country's most important events. During major holidays like Christmas and Easter, it's common to see a table filled with several varieties, each prepared with extra care and attention. In fact, the tradition often follows a specific order. The first round features fish-based toppings, the second focuses on meats, and the final round may include cheese or something slightly sweet. This order isn't random, it's part of a cultural rhythm that has been passed down for generations. In festive settings, presentation matters almost as much as taste. Home cooks and professional chefs alike use colorful vegetables, fresh herbs, and creative garnishes to make each sandwich look as good as it tastes. When guests arrive, they're greeted with a table that feels more like an art exhibit than a meal. This not only makes the food more appealing but also turns eating into a shared experience. Guests often spend time discussing which combinations look most inviting before they even take a bite. These sandwiches also serve a social purpose. In buffet-style gatherings, people naturally move around the table, interact with others, and exchange recommendations about what to try. It's a style of eating that encourages conversation and connection. For many families, these moments are as important as the food itself. Even outside of home celebrations, the tradition remains strong. Companies often include open-faced sandwiches in catering for holiday parties or team events, and high-end restaurants create entire banquet menus around them for special occasions. This shows how deeply they are woven into the fabric of Danish social life, from casual get-togethers to formal celebrations. There's also a sense of pride involved. Hosts take great care to ensure the selection reflects both tradition and personal taste. While some stick to classic recipes, others like to experiment with new flavors or seasonal ingredients. In either case, the goal is the same: to offer guests something memorable, both in flavor and in the feeling it creates. What makes this so unique is that it's not just about eating, it's about marking an occasion. These sandwiches transform from a daily necessity into a symbol of hospitality and togetherness. Later in this video, we'll see how they've even made their way into the world of fine dining, where chefs reinterpret them for a whole new audience. Before we wrap up, let's revisit that earlier hint, how a simple lunchbox staple transformed into a dish celebrated by top Danish chefs and served in some of Copenhagen's finest restaurants. In recent years, open-faced sandwiches have undergone a remarkable transformation. What was once a simple, everyday lunch has now become a centerpiece of culinary innovation. Modern chefs have embraced these sandwiches, reimagining them as gourmet creations that combine tradition with contemporary flavors. Today, high-end restaurants serve them with precision and artistry, often using ingredients sourced entirely from local farms. Fresh herbs, seasonal vegetables, premium cheeses, and sustainably caught seafood are plated in ways that make the sandwiches almost too beautiful to eat. Presentation has become just as important as taste, turning a humble meal into an elegant dining experience. The price of these gourmet creations also reflects their elevated status. While a homemade version might cost just a few units of currency, a restaurant version can cost several times more, depending on the quality of the ingredients and the complexity of the preparation. Yet, diners happily pay the premium because the experience goes beyond simply eating. It's about savoring culture, creativity, and craftsmanship on a single slice of bread. Social media has played a huge role in this resurgence. Stunning photos of these sandwiches, with vibrant colors and intricate layers, are shared around the world. Instagram alone features millions of posts showcasing these creations, turning them into global culinary icons. This visibility has attracted tourists and food enthusiasts eager to experience the sandwiches in their country of origin, boosting local culinary tourism. Chefs are also experimenting with fusion flavors, blending international cuisines with traditional concepts. Some sandwiches now feature exotic spices, Asian-inspired toppings, or Mediterranean-style ingredients. This innovation keeps the tradition fresh and relevant, appealing to both locals and global visitors. Even culinary schools have adapted, teaching aspiring chefs the art of designing and plating modern sandwiches. Students learn how to balance flavors, choose complementary ingredients, and create visual appeal that enhances the dining experience. It's a skill set that blends creativity with tradition, ensuring that this iconic dish continues to evolve while honoring its roots. Interestingly, the influence of this modern approach has spread internationally. Restaurants in cities like New York, London, and Tokyo now offer their own interpretations, marketing them as Nordic-style open sandwiches. This global recognition highlights the versatility of the concept and its ability to resonate with different cultures while maintaining a connection to its original heritage. What started as a simple, practical meal has now become a symbol of culinary innovation, creativity, and cultural pride. The open-faced sandwich proves that even the most humble dishes can evolve into something extraordinary when tradition meets modern inspiration. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Click on the playlist to your right to dive deeper into Danish food, culture, and travel.